Yes, welcome back to the Sports Show. Well, this one's going to get you a bit feisty, boys. I have no doubt, but I want to get some expert opinion on this, and unfortunately, you're the only two blokes
Oh, no,
here.
yeah. I was looking around then. Yeah, I had a bit of a quick look around.
No, I've been wondering this for a while. The AFL, before COVID struck,
Yep.
the AFL were talking, the clubs were talking about each team having their own team to play in the reserves.
Fantastic.
So Essendon would have the reserves team, Port would have a reserve, so not involved in the SANFL, their own reserves team. Then, of course, the AFLW started up. And so a lot of money has gone into the AFLW, which has been a fantastic product.
Oh, fantastic product.
However, it's losing a lot of money. And
Not
the
a fantastic product. It's a good product.
Well, it's a good product.
Getting better.
It's great for the sport.
It's
getting better.
For the demographic, it's a great product.
It is.
Yeah.
So we're not.
Young kids love it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm
true.
trying to make sure this is not a sexist thing. I mean, guess what? I've got 3 daughters. I know I enjoy the women's footy. I think it's fantastic. It's a great opportunity. I'm looking at it purely as a business. So I'm presenting to you as a business model.
If you looked at a business model,
Yes.
what you're about to say here,
Yep.
one of them's got to go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So you can have a reserves competition for the AFL, or you can have the AFLW. So you've got reserves or AFLW. You can't have both because the AFL can't afford to keep them both going because it's such a huge drain. Now, if you're going to go with the reserves competition, that's where you get your better players that eventually come up into the AFL, which make that product as good as it can
That's the
possibly
product,
be.
isn't it?
That's the product.
That's the A-grade product.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, where does AFLW? Do they come back and say, gee whiz, we've got to have the reserves because this is the big dollar ticket item. We're going to have to cut you back. Now, it'd just be a massive uproar, but is one inhibiting the other from being better? I guess that's my question.
Wow, that's a
Well, you've got to
very
keep
good question,
improving your
yeah.
best product. So I've always been the big one for the reserves as part of the AFL structure. I think before the game, great for the spectators, but also for the development of our game.
Yep.
No question. The women's game, fantastic. Look, there must be a fine line to say, well, we know we're going to lose money in the women's league. We know we're going to lose it in the reserves.
Yep.
But the product's going to be better.
Yep.
So, I mean, the money then has to sort of filter down to still support it, and that's as unfortunate is for the AFL that, you know what, maybe, some of the dollar figures that we're talking about for each club, that might have to come down to make these other two survive.
Yep.
I mean, we're talking huge money at the moment for players, massive money for players. Maybe there is a bit of a pay cut to make these two happen.
Yep.
I mean,
Can't
because
see
they're
the-
both important.
Can't see the players taking a pay cut to make it happen. I can't see that happening at all. You've got to remember, the AFL rushed in the AFLW purely on the back of the success of the Matildas. If you go back and have a look when they were not, did they start 217 or 218, the AFLW? 218 maybe?
It's their 3rd year.
So there.
Yeah, so 218, yeah. They weren't supposed to come in till 220 originally. That was the plan. We're going to have an AFLW in 2020. And then if you remember rightly, all of a sudden it was boom.
Oh, it went boom, didn't
There
it?
it is.
And it went boom. Fantastic,
And
yeah.
they brought it in early.
Yep.
But that was on the success of the Matildas.
Yep.
Because the Matildas, they nearly made a World Cup.
Oh, they were unbelievable.
And they still are. They are brilliant, and they were all over the papers. They were all over every Australian sporting newspaper that you could find. So all of a sudden, bang, the AFL bring in AFLW.
Yep.
Now, whether they thought it would be as good as it has been, I'm not sure.
I think it's been hugely successful. I don't think anyone's disputing that it's been hugely successful.
But it's costly.
just not financially viable.
It's costing a lot of money.
So
that's right.
And
that's my question.
also for the girls as well, because they have to go interstate. They
Absolutely.
aren't able to, for their career and working, and obviously they've got to have lots of days without pay and things like that. So, it's expensive for them. So they're obviously looking for a bit more of the lick of the ice cream as well in the way of dollars and contracts and things like that.
So what would happen in the end if the AFL hypothetically said, you know what, we're going to let you run your own program? So women's tennis and men's tennis did it 20 years ago. The women wanted to create their own tour, and so they went off on their own and have done exceptionally well. How would it go if the AFL said, we've helped you get this far, we're cutting you loose? We'll give you as much help as we can, but the financial support's now gone. You're on your own. Can it
Are they
survive?
able to
they
play
survive?
before the AFL game, the men's game?
Well, they'll get
because that will be
but they'll get no
reserves.
money. where they'll get no money. So they've got to generate their own money to survive.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's ready for that yet.
When you've got 40
big
odd
enough.
players that are involved in one game,
Yeah.
it's a lot of dollars, yes, there for flights and accommodation and wages and then medical staff. It's a huge outlay. It's a huge outlay.
I watched a couple of games, been down to watch the Women's Crows
Yeah.
play, and the crowd's okay. It's an SANFL crowd, you know, at best, and I'm going, you know, and you keep hearing, well, we need more, we want more, we need more, and no one's arguing that you don't deserve more. It's just, where's it going to come from?
Where's it coming
Is the
from?
problem. So, all right, let's have a talk about the AFL, boys. Of course, on tonight, the Crows are up against the Suns at Adelaide Oval. What's your thoughts?
Well, I think some of the Crows players, we talk about inconsistent. Wow, from 1 week to the next, the Swans. Actually, there was 11 players that I know that we're talking dream team points here.
Yep.
They were under 50. 11 players are under 50, and
that's the problem.
The inconsistency. I've got a list of players here that the week before. Wow, they look good. They had tick, 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 and some of them were in the 30s in their dream team. So, I think in Adelaide they're going to be home. I think they're going to be hard to beat. But the Gold Coast are coming off a fantastic win. But I'm going to go obviously the Crows. But I need these players, the Framptons, the McKays, the McPhersons, Murrays, O'Briens, Rose, Scholl, Hamill. They need a lift.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It's inconsistent, isn't it?
It is inconsistent.
And it's going to happen to Adelaide
That's
quite a bit.
With the young group.
Well, I think it's going to happen quite a bit with them.
But you expect it
Gold
maybe
Coast
around 60 at least. But I don't really understand the dream team. But this is all way under 50. Yeah. So anyway.
Gold Coast to win. Gold Coast are playing good footy. They've got a good list. When I say a good list, it's an injury-free list. There's not too many blokes out, and they're playing good footy. They played really well last week. Forget the opposition that they play. You can only beat who's in front of you, but they did it really well.
10 goals. That's a handy win.
It's a very handy win. That's what I'm saying. They'll come to Adelaide full of confidence, I think. Adelaide, on the other hand, their confidence might have taken a little bit of a belting on the weekend.
That's a really good point.
And that's my only issue. Are we back to where we were last year? Well, it was that sort of feeling. Had they won on the weekend, which I thought they might beat Sydney,
how they played the week before, no question. They only had 3 goal scorers.
And there's your other issue. There's your other issue.
While we're talking about goal scorers, I'll keep you on your toes. Coleman medal, could Tex Walker win the Coleman?
Of course he can.
To kick
11 goals. He's 11 goals in 2 games.
6 goals at the SCG as well, when you normally do go deep in the full forward. Yeah. He's demanding the ball. He must be just so full of confidence at the moment, and they're looking for him.
He wouldn't want to go down.
No. When he played last year with some pretty nasty injuries, and I think he's answering his critics the best way he can.
We spoke about him quite a bit, didn't we?
I defended him.
I felt sorry for Tex a lot last year because he didn't look like the Tex Walker that I remember.
This year, a lot of pressure being captain too, by the way.
That's the other
consistent young side and everything that went
right.
around.
Eagles up against the Power, Optus on Saturday.
Cracking game. But Power were unbelievable last week. I mean, I actually was sitting in the stand going, why aren't Essendon getting in front? And the funny thing, a lot of times they were, but they just didn't have the leg speed.
That's right.
Port were just so quick.
Yeah.
They were another step above them. Yeah. And I don't think Essendon played that poorly. It was just that Port were, they're in that top 3 tier team at the moment. Top 3, and those top 3 or 4 are a long way from that next group. And Port were a sense. George Artis couldn't get in the week before. He's got 4 goals.
Right. Yeah,
and you look at Butters. He could be probably leaving the Brown at the moment. Jew, Burton. I thought Burton was outstanding last week. And then you got your 3. You got your Bokey, Wines, and Motlop and Houston. They're all playing great footy. Yeah, they're going to be hard to beat.
They've gone from 14th last year, from transition out of defence to score. 14th last year to 1st. That's got to be frightening to a lot of teams because they're scoring now from taking the ball in the back pocket. Yeah. Ports are kicking goals.
Have you said the run from Houston is
exactly. It's followed the dotted line. They made Essendon look, like you said earlier, slow. They're not slow, just that Port are very quick. And they just went follow the dotted line down the ground. Boom, 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 goal. Now, as I say, 14th last year to 1st this year. That's frightening.
Kick away from the grand final last year and they've improved. So you're both going for Port, Essendon, St Kilda at Marvel.
I'm going the Bombers. I don't think they played that bad. I just think they played a super team.
All right.
No, Saints will win because of Essendon copping as many injuries as they copped. and they're all gone too. They're long term. There's no little soft tissue here.
Three
maybe 1 week. We're talking a couple of months for all 3 of them, and they're good players.
All right, Richmond, Sydney at the MCG.
Good game.
Richmond. I think Richmond was super side and Sydney away, bigger ground, all the things that.
I see Alex Rance is going to play a couple of games for a team just outside of the AFL.
Yeah. Is that right? Just sniffing around the place?
Well, he's playing for a bit of fun, but don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. All
And
right.
they tell me that he's faded away to a warehouse as well, so I don't think he'll be back in the AFL too quickly.
Hurry, not rushing. All right. Okay, Sunday, Carlton up against Freo at Marvel.
At Marvel?
Yeah.
I'll go the Blues.
I'm going Freo. They played well last week.
I don't mind Freo either. I think that's a good game. That's a really close game.
Carlton needs something. Social media's, we've spoken many times. T absolutely got belted on social media, and I'm just saying, I really hope he didn't open up any of the comments because wow, Carlton supporters just went to town on the coach.
On T.
Yeah, on the coach.
Yeah.
Unbelievable it was.
Yeah.
Always falls on the coach.
And they're 15th at the moment, and haven't won one.
GWS Melbourne, Monica, playing in the ACT.
GWS.
GWS?
No.
Melbourne played well there.
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Yeah, Melbourne. GWS. My God.
Yeah.
Leon
Shocking.
Cameron, he in a bit of a rebuild.
He's in a bit of a. He was stiff, Leon Cameron.
Yep.
He walks in to coach him, and about 3 stars walked out.
Yep.
You know, he's lost good players every year he's been there.
Yep.
You know, and that's not his fault.
No, it's not.
That's the club issue.
Well, just quickly, because we've got to wrap it up, boys. Panthers and the Crows play. I'm talking about Fab Friday here in the SANFL. So
Sensational, yeah.
All right, Panthers and Crows tips.
Oh, I'm going to Panthers.
Where's it being played?
Flinders Uni, so it's South.
I'm going the Panthers.
Yeah.
All right. Centrals and North Adelaide at Centrals.
North.
North are trialling very well at the moment.
Are they ever?
Sturt, Woodville, West Torrens.
Good game.
That's a cracker.
Where's that being played?
Woodville, West Torrens.
Yeah.
At
Woody West
the-
Torrens. I'm going Woody West Torrens.
All right.
Yeah.
Glenelg and
I'll go the
Bloods.
Blues.
Glenelg and the Bloods.
Oh, the Bays will beat them.
Big year for the Bays. Going for the
Yeah,
Bays.
for the Bays. All right. Hope you've enjoyed the show, everybody. Time for us to say goodbye. We look forward to your company next week. Bye, everybody.